Hi, for this blanket I used a 20mm crochet hook and 6 skeins of Bernat Blanket Extra, which is a jumbo 7-weight yarn in the color Velveteal. Each row measures 3 inches, so it works up very quickly, and with an initial chain of 60 and 16 rows of linked treble crochet stitches, the blanket measures 65 inches long by 48 inches wide. I did have enough left over for one more row if you'd like it to be 51 inches wide. It's completely reversible. It looks exactly the same on either side. Okay, we're going to make our linked treble crochet in this jumbo yarn, which makes every row 3 inches, so it grows incredibly fast. As I said, the 16 rows equals 48 inches. I did have enough for one more row, but I chose not to. Okay, come into the second chain from the hook. I strongly recommend, because I did not do this, I almost always do and I didn't, strongly recommend that you come into that back bump. Turn your chain over, there's your back bump. It's just going to give you a nicer foundation. Otherwise, it ends up really, really loose. So go into that first back bump, pull your yarn through. You have 2 loops on your hook. Find your next back bump. There's your chain. Turn it over. There's your back bump. It's very loose in this jumbo yarn and this huge hook. Pull it through. You have 3 loops on your hook, and you're going to do that one more time. Find your back bump. It's going to try and just want to turn itself over that way now. Okay, now you have 4 loops on your hook, just like you normally would with the treble crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2 once, yarn over, pull through 2 twice, yarn over, pull through 2 3 times. There's going to be a lot of counting to 3 in this. Now, you're making these horizontal bars. It's just part of your pattern. It's always going to look like this on the side you're working on, and it's always going to look like this on the opposite side. It's really pretty. It looks like you used a lot more various stitches than just this one. It's so cool. So back to this. 2 horizontal bars. Those are what you're going to work into. Not up here at the top, in the middle, and at the bottom. So let's go into that first one. And it is easier for me to work it going up and down vertically, even though these are horizontal bars. All right, pull that through 1. Go into the next one. That horizontal bar at the bottom there. Pull through. That was 2. And go into your next. Normally will be your next stitch, the back bump of your chain. And that's 3. You should have 4 loops on your hook now. Yarn over, pull through 2 once, yarn over, pull through 2 twice, yarn over, pull through 2 3 times. Your horizontal bars are going to become much more apparent, easier to see. There and there. So let's do that 3 again into the first one. 1 into the next one. Make sure you're going into that horizontal bar. 2 and into your next back bump. Find your next chain, turn it over, and there's your next back bump right there. It looks a lot different in this big yarn. Okay, yarn over. You have 4 loops on your hook. Pull through 2 loops once, yarn over, pull through 2 loops twice, yarn over, pull through 2 loops 3 times. There are your horizontal bars. This is what you do all the way to the end of the row. Pull through 1, 2. Let's find your back bump. It's really where this curves up and into your chain. There's your back bump. Pull through. You have 4 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3. There are your horizontal bars. Like I said, even though I'm working vertically, they really are horizontal bars. 1, 2, and we're at our last. As I said, if you can't find it, it's this piece that goes through and it comes around through the back, and that's the back bump. And pull through. You should have 4 loops. 1, 2, 3. And there we are. Now, obviously, you're going to be going much longer. It'll be 65 inches, but it'll go so fast you won't believe it. You have your horizontal bars here. When we turn and we're working on this side, it's going to look just like this. So normally, when you turn with the treble, the link treble crochet, you would chain 3, and I did do that on my blanket. I did not care for how loose it was on the edges. It's okay, it's cute, it's pretty, but it's has some pretty good gaps on the sides. So what I decided to do, chain 2, flip your work over. Now normally you wouldn't be able to go into the same chain if you were on this side because it would just pop right out. But twist it so that your yarn is coming through here. Go into that first chain. Go into the next chain. You have 3 loops. Now go into that first stitch. Pull your yarn through. Now you have 4 loops. This is how you're going to start every row. Pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And this starts your row. There are your horizontal bars. One's right there, one's right there. Not up here at the top, middle and bottom. Okay, go into that first one, pull through 1, go into the next one, pull through 2, find your next stitch, the whole stitch, and pull through 3. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook. You always should pull over, through 2 once, yarn over, pull through 2 twice, yarn over, pull through 2 3 times. You're starting to see your pattern. Whatever side you're working on has the horizontal bars. The opposite side has the vertical. Looks braided. When all is said and done, it reminds me of the alpine stitch, which I think is a really pretty texture. All right, go into that first horizontal bar there, and the next one right there. Pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Make sure you're going into the next stitch. Also, make sure at the end of every couple of rows that you count. If you're following my pattern, you should have 57 stitches at the end of each. So I pulled through once, pulled through twice, yarn over, pull through 3 times. Now, it's very important that you count your stitches. It is easier the way that I'm showing you with just the 2 chains. When I had 3 chains, I sometimes added a stitch. and I had to go back and take out the whole row because I had too many stitches, and it became apparent when the blanket started edging off to the side. It's too big on one side. All right, back to our horizontal bars. 1, 2, and the next stitch, 3, yarn over, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're approaching the last stitch of your row. Should be 57 if you're following my pattern. Go into that first horizontal bar, 1, second horizontal bar, 2, go into the last stitch. However, when you go into this last stitch, grab this chain and go into that as well. So that's actually going to give you an extra loop there. There we go. So you still have 4 loops on your hook now. Did that make sense? We went through 1, we went through 2, we're coming in, but instead of just going through here, because see how that leaves too big of a gap, you want to also include top of that chain. And pull through all of that. All right, now we're back to our treble. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Pull that one kind of tight. That'll help keep your edge straight as well. See how nice and straight that is? Make your chain 2. Flip. See, it's coming out nice and straight there. All right. Because you've twisted, you can now go into that first chain. 1, go into the next chain, 2, and into your first full stitch. And you have your 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. My yarn got tangled up. I only have a little bit of yarn left because, like I said, I used it for trying to make tassels and pom-poms. There would have been enough left for another row, which I wasn't going to do anyway. I thought 48 inches was plenty long. Okay, 2 horizontal bars are plenty wide. And the first one, second one, and the next stitch. And it's just the same thing. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Every row that you're working on will have the horizontal bars. This is what it's looking like from the back. Isn't that nice? I think you'll really like it. So as I said, I did 16 rows for 48 inches. If you want to do 17 rows for 51 inches, you can. When you reach the end of your last row, chain 1, cut your yarn, pull it through, fasten off, just tighten it up, and weave in that end, weave in your initial tail, and that is it. You only have 2 ends to weave in. I hope you enjoy this pattern. I enjoyed making it. It was really fast and easy, but it looks a lot harder than it was. Let me know if you like it, please. Give me a like. Add any comments if you have any issues with it, or just if you like it. Please leave me some feedback. If you have subscribed already, thank you very much. If you haven't, I would love it if you would subscribe. And all my free patterns are at www.i-crochet.com. Thanks a lot. I just wanted you to see the difference in the size of this blanket made with jumbo 7-weight yarn compared to these other blankets made with super bulky 6-weight yarn.